MTSS, PBIS, RTI. There are a lot of technical terms in education, and while you may have heard these in faculty meetings, you might not know what they mean or how they work together. Many educators assume that MTSS, RTI, and even PBIS are the same thing, since they're so closely related. However, there are key differences between each of them, and once you know, you'll never forget. MTSS, known as Multi-Tiered Systems of Support, is the umbrella under which you'll find RTI and PBIS, which stand for Response to Intervention and Positive Behavior and Intervention Supports. MTSS recognizes that students need support both in academics and behavior. RTI focuses on academics. PBIS focuses on behavior. The goal of MTSS is to create a well-rounded student body, so you'll often see it focus on professional development and community involvement. These initiatives use RTI and PBIS data to ensure that the school's goals are being met. Now, both RTI and PBIS are data-driven and evidence-based, but RTI focuses on academics, whereas PBIS is behavioral. Response to intervention data is gathered through testing and teacher feedback. It's often depicted as a pyramid. At the base, you'll find Tier 1, which represents the core instruction and is enough for 80% of students. In the middle, there's Tier 2, which represents targeted instruction, frequent feedback, and progress monitoring. It's an additional framework that applies to 15% or so of students. At the top, we have Tier 3, which is one-on-one instruction and reserved for 5% of students. This is for learners whose performance falls significantly below that of their peers despite Tier 2 intervention. These Tier 3 students receive intensive one-on-one support several times a week with close monitoring of his or her progress. Overall, the goal of RTI is to provide support to students who struggle to get good grades in schools and in districts. However, this focus on academics is only half of MTSS. There's also the behavioral side. When it comes to positive behavior interventions and support, the pyramid example still works. In fact, PBIS is structured just like RTI. Tier 1 is a school-wide approach, Tier 2 involves specialized group interventions, and Tier 3 supports the students who are most at risk. There's no standardized testing for behavior, so it's up to the school to gather data from office referrals and reward systems, or even a handy behavior platform, to figure out the goals for each tier. You can also ask teachers and your students what each tier may look like. Letting students contribute gives them ownership and helps you learn what they want to achieve in school. Overall, MTSS, RTI, and PBIS have a lot of similarities. They all focus on student development and success, but from different angles. RTI is a targeted, well-researched approach to improving the academic success of at-risk students across all grade levels. PBIS is equally targeted and data-driven, but it exists to improve student behavior instead. MTSS, on the other hand, is a broad, comprehensive system put in place to support students academically, socially, emotionally, and behaviorally, as well as improve the teachers working so hard to improve students' lives. What do you mean there are more acronyms? Ha! 3's enough for one day.